Well, Italians go to the polls this weekend to vote on constitutional reforms. But if they vote the reforms down, Italy's Prime Minister Matteo Renzi says he will resign. It is the next British exit, perhaps? Is that the moment that we're seeing in Europe? And how will the global markets react to all of this? Joining us now for his take on the markets, James Hughes, Chief Market Analyst at GKFX. So we have the referendum this weekend. It's really trying to take away some of the power of the Senate, reducing the number of senators and the like. Italian banks have been front and center. What's your first thoughts on this big picture?
I think that the first big picture thought is the contagion that's happening throughout Europe at the moment, and the continued view to move away from the European Union and the euro. Because I mean, we have to look towards what the vote actually means away from the actual constitution, because a lot of the electorate in Italy are using this as a vote against the government. So at the moment the bookmakers put the no vote as very strong favourites to win this, and that's a vote against Matteo Renzi. And if you look at some of the other candidates, if that then sparks elections in Italy, you have Mr. Grillo, who is first point of call has been to, if he gets into power, is to have a referendum on membership of the euro. So this growing contagion around Europe is the biggest and most worrying point about the whole referendum, the Brexit that we've seen in the UK as well. It's a growing movement.
So Italy could then essentially not use the euro anymore, correct?
Absolutely. If it comes to the referendum and they vote to leave it, and of course that no one else has left it, so again, very much like Brexit, we don't know if it could, how long it could take, or if it will happen, or what the red tape is around it. But it's definitely a serious possibility. If the Italian people vote no, Matteo Renzi has said he will leave. It will spark an election, and Mr. Grillo, who is the far right candidate at the moment, is the favourite to win if they went to the polls now for an election, and his first point of call would be a referendum on the euro. So there are these so many ramifications around a potential no vote this weekend.
And Grillo is part of the five-star movement. What does this mean for us here in the United States when we talk about these votes in Italy? We're seeing votes in Austria. We have presidential elections in France and Germany next year. How does this all relate to investors in the United States this morning and the week ahead?
Well, I think it's very much, if you're looking towards the week ahead, I mean, I think there's worries in terms of equity markets. I think if you look at the downside that you could have on the back of a no vote and what that means in terms of the financial institutions.
That's actually a great point. On Monday morning, a no vote means what for U.S. markets? A yes vote means what for U.S. markets?
For me, a no vote means equity markets are unwinding a little bit. Remember, we've seen such a strong rally on the back of the Donald Trump effect of what's happened over the last few weeks or so, that the negativity from this point of view that would hit the banking and financial institutions would unwind a lot of the equity market gains that we've seen of late. Now, of course, they've rallied so strongly, they do have some kind of correction in them, of course. But I think it's that worry that's the point, I think, at the moment. That the euro could, of course, be hit. But I think from an equity market point of view, we have to look towards financial institutions. The shares have done particularly well since Donald Trump's come in, but this would definitely be a worrying point for them. And it depends which financial institutions have the biggest exposure to the eurozone, of course. And, of course, it's a massive exposure for a lot of these financial companies.
All right, GKFX, James Hughes, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we'll see what we get on Monday morning when the markets open. Yes or no? Thanks.